A forgotten world in the vast expanse of the galaxy, Earth had become a footnote in interstellar politics. Once a promising member of the galactic community, humanity's apparent technological stagnation and lack of military presence had rendered the planet a forgotten relic. The sprawling forests, glittering oceans, and diverse wildlife of Earth had captivated early explorers. But as the centuries passed, the planet faded into obscurity. To the rest of the galaxy, Earth was just a quiet, primitive world, a relic of no consequence. But that perception was about to change. The Trelvic Dominion, a reptilian race with a penchant for conquest, had grown bolder in recent years. Having expanded their empire to dozens of systems, they thrived on subjugating lesser species and exploiting planetary resources. When Overlord Zyros, a cunning and ruthless leader, reviewed the Dominion's maps, his gaze fell on Earth. The planet's biodiversity promised rich biological materials, and its apparent lack of advanced defenses made it an easy target. To Zyros, Earth was nothing more than a juicy prize ripe for the taking. A lush, resource-rich world with no significant defenses, Zyros declared to his council. Its inhabitants are primitive, and their reliance on outdated technology makes them irrelevant. Even their wild animals pose no threat to us. His advisors chuckled in agreement, dismissing Earth's potential resistance as laughable. Plans were set in motion for the Trelvic to descend upon the planet, confident in their dominance. Yet, as their fleets approached Earth, subtle warning signs emerged. Early reports from reconnaissance drones revealed strange disturbances in the planet's ecosystems. Predatory animals seemed to exhibit a heightened awareness of their surroundings. Migratory patterns shifted, and territorial animals became more aggressive. The Dominion, accustomed to easy conquests, ignored these warnings. The invasion begins. The invasion began on a cold, moonlit night. The silence of Earth's forests was broken by the hum of Trelvic landing ships cutting through the atmosphere. Cloaked in shimmering camouflage fields, the massive ships descended to remote areas, disgorging troops armed with plasma rifles, mechanized walkers, and advanced scanning equipment. Their mission was simple: pacify the planet and establish resource extraction bases. The Trelvic targeted the vast forests of North America first, hoping to strip the land of its rich resources. They underestimated the labyrinthine nature of the wilderness and the creatures within it. As the first wave of soldiers advanced cautiously, their scanners lit up with signs of movement. Trees towered around them, their branches casting eerie shadows in the moonlight. Despite their advanced technology, the Trelvic were uneasy. The forest felt alive, as if it were watching them. For hours, the soldiers trudged through the dense underbrush, their boots crunching on fallen leaves. They encountered no resistance, only the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant hoot of an owl. Emboldened by the apparent lack of danger, they began to lower their guard. That was when the wolves struck. The first strike hidden in the underbrush, a pack of gray wolves observed the intruders. They were led by a massive alpha with piercing amber eyes, his every movement exuding power and intelligence. The wolves had sensed the invaders long before they landed. The unnatural hum of machines and the acrid scent of alien materials had disrupted the harmony of their home. This was their territory, and they would defend it at all costs. The first attack was swift and devastating. Under the cover of darkness, the pack launched a coordinated ambush on a Trelvic patrol unit. The soldiers, relying heavily on their scanners and advanced targeting systems, were caught completely off guard. The wolves moved with silent precision, their attacks timed perfectly to confuse and overwhelm the invaders. A young Trelvic soldier, separated from his unit, barely had time to raise his weapon before a pair of wolves lunged at him. His terrified screams echoed through the forest before being abruptly silenced. When reinforcements arrived hours later, they found only mangled equipment and traces of blood. The surviving soldiers reported strange details to their superiors. The wolves had appeared almost out of nowhere, their movements unnaturally synchronized. By dawn, whispers of the phantom attackers began circulating among the Trelvic ranks. Soldiers grew wary, their confidence shaken by an enemy they could neither see nor understand. Unease among the Trelvic as reports of wolf attacks spread. Fear began to take root in the Trelvic forces. Overlord Zyros dismissed the incidents as minor setbacks, blaming his soldiers' incompetence rather than acknowledging the wolves as a genuine threat. "They're just animals," he sneered during a command briefing. "If you can't handle a few predators, perhaps you're unfit to serve in my army." Despite Zyros' confidence, the wolves continued to strike with increasing precision. Their attacks were no longer random. They targeted patrol routes, supply lines, and even key equipment. The Trelvic's advanced weaponry proved ineffective against an enemy that vanished as quickly as it appeared. Soldiers began refusing night patrols, their fear outweighing their loyalty to the Dominion. The unease grew when other species of animals began displaying unusual behavior. Birds harassed drones in coordinated flocks, and deer stampeded through camps, destroying sensitive equipment. The forest itself seemed to resist the invaders, as if Earth's very ecosystem had declared war. Even the Trelvic's machinery began to fail. Swarms of insects infiltrated circuits, rendering advanced weaponry useless. The soldiers, once confident in their technological superiority, now found themselves helpless against the primal fury of the natural world. Humanity watches deep underground. Hidden bunkers buzzed with activity, as human scientists and military leaders monitored the invasion. While the Trelvic had dismissed humanity as irrelevant, they had grossly underestimated the species' resilience and ingenuity. Humanity had prepared for the possibility of alien contact for decades, though they had never anticipated Earth's wildlife would become its first line of defense. Dr. Elena Carter, a leading expert in animal behavior, was among the first to notice the strange patterns emerging among the animals. She pored over data from satellites and hidden cameras, her brow furrowed in concentration. "These aren't random attacks," she murmured, pointing to a map displaying wolf movements. "They're learning, adapting. Their tactics are almost military." Precision. General Marcus Hayes, the grizzled head of Earth's hidden defense forces, nodded grimly. "If the animals are fighting back, we can't waste this opportunity. We need to support them, discreetly." Hayes ordered small teams to deploy specialized equipment into the wilderness, not to attack the Trelvic, but to assist the animals. Microdrones were released to gather intelligence, while ultrasonic emitters disrupted Trelvic communications. Humanity's involvement remained hidden, allowing the animals to take center stage in the fight. The forest awakens as the Trelvic's grip on the forest weakened. The resistance intensified. Wolves no longer acted alone. Grizzly bears began ambushing supply convoys, their massive strength making short work of even the most heavily armed soldiers. Eagles swooped down from the skies, their talons tearing through drones and sensors. Even swarms of insects became a weapon, infiltrating machinery and short-circuiting delicate equipment. The Trelvic were no strangers to hostile environments, but Earth's wildlife was unlike anything they had encountered. Overlord Zyros grew, increasingly frustrated. He ordered his scientists to study the animals, hoping to uncover a weakness. What they discovered sent shockwaves through the Dominion's command. Earth's fauna showed signs of accelerated neural activity, far beyond what should have been possible. The presence of the Trelvic's advanced technology seemed to have triggered a rapid evolutionary response. The animals were growing smarter, faster, and more coordinated with each passing day. Even plants began to play a role. Vines tangled around landing gear, disabling ships before they could take off. Poisonous spores spread through camps, causing chaos among the soldiers. The planet's ecosystem had transformed into a living, breathing force of resistance, united against the invaders.